What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you all the new Color Fuse Blush Balm Sticks from Haus Labs. I grabbed these in 3 shades. I'm going to be doing swatches, applications with all of these on the cheeks and also on the lips. And of course, I will be showing you a couple comparisons as well. Make sure you stay until the end of the video because there are pros and cons to these. I don't think they're going to be for everybody, but if you want to hang out with me today and play around with these blushes and hear my completely honest thoughts, then keep watching. If you are not familiar with this product, the full name is the Haus Labs by Lady Gaga Color Fuse Long Wear Hydrating Glassy Lip Plus Cheek Blush Balm Stick. Woo, that is a mouthful. They retail for $34 and they come in 8 shades, 3 of which I will be reviewing for you all today. I purchased mine early access at Sephora, but I will link in the description box down below a shopping guide on where else you can pick these up. On the Sephora website, these are described as a serum-based high pigment blush with more than 70% skincare and proprietary complexes that hydrate and make skin look plumper, all in a long-wearing glassy balm. There's a couple of highlighted ingredients here. The first one is fermented arnica, kind of like the star ingredient of the Haus Labs line. It says it visibly reduces redness and irritation. Also, goji berry complex to boost radiance and make skin look plumper. And then finally, fermented shiyunko, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, to promote collagen synthesis and antioxidant protection. This product is vegan, gluten-free, and cruelty-free. It has an 18-month shelf life. It is made in Korea, and I don't detect any strong or really any fragrance at all. Now, as described, this product is in a stick format. It's something that you can apply both to the cheeks and also to the lips. So that's what we're gonna be doing in the demos today. I'll show you guys a close-up of the packaging. I will say it looks nice, but it is a little bit plasticky. It's really nothing special, nothing weighty. I suppose it's very travel friendly. It is a stick and it's very lightweight, but I do just wanna mention, guys, it feels a little bit plasticky. It really isn't anything to write home about. Before we get into the demo, let me quickly show you some swatches of the shades that I picked up. The first one that I have here is called Glassy Pomelo. This is described as a peach pink. This is going to be one of the lightest shades, maybe this one and Glassy Hibiscus. If you're looking for something very, very subtle and natural for fair skin, this is going to be one of the ones you want to pick. The next one that I have right here is Glassy Lilac, and this is described as a lavender. This is going to be one of the more trendy shades. Lavender and lilac are definitely in this spring and summer. This one I will say, as you can see from the swatch, it's pretty pigmented. And then the last shade that I chose, friends, is called Glassy Tangelo. You know I love my orange blushes, and this is described as an orange on Sephora. And you can also see this one is pretty pigmented as well. This one is going to be a little bit better for deeper skin tones or if you just want something that is a little bit more vibrant in color. And without further ado, let's get these blushes on my cheeks. I'm going to start off with Glassy Pomelo. This is the one that was the peachy pink. I'm going to start off by applying it straight from the stick on this side of my face, and then on this side of my face we're going to maybe go on the back of my hand and apply with a brush. So let's see which way works the best. I'm just going to put a little bit on the top here. As you can see, pretty sheer and it's pretty glassy as is described. I'm using a BK Beauty 101 brush. This is really great for any cream or liquid products, whether it be foundation, contour, bronzer, blush, highlighter, anything. I'll link it down below along with my coupon code. I think that looks really beautiful and natural. I'm just wondering, comment down below and let me know what you think. Do you think that it kind of removed a little bit of my foundation? I'm wearing the new Fenty Soft Lit foundation right now, and I have just a little light layer on. I feel like it maybe disturbed it just a tiny bit. And you know what? I am seeing, if you can see that, I am seeing the foundation come off on the top of the bullet right there. So if you are concerned about that, let's see, it might work better if I just put a bunch on the back of my hand here. This is what I normally do with any kind of cream or liquid blush because I feel like I can distribute everything a little bit more easily. Yeah, I think this is the way to go with these blushes. I'm gonna get a little bit more on. I feel like you can be rather liberal with these, or at least with this shade, Glassy Pomelo, because it is so light. But I'm not gonna lie, like this is a gorgeous shade. This is a really beautiful shade for fair skin. I'm not quite sure if this is gonna show up very well on deeper skin. I'm looking at the website photos right now, and the deepest model that they have is like maybe a medium golden, slightly olive tone. Let me get in a little close here. I am filming in natural light, so hopefully you can see any kind of texture, hyperpigmentation. I don't think that the side where I applied it straight from the bullet looks bad. I just don't really like the fact that it removed some of my makeup right there, because I do have most of my redness right there on the tops of my cheeks, as I know, a lot of people do. So I would just be careful with that, but it does give a very beautiful glassy shine. And when I touch my cheeks, it definitely feels dewy. It definitely feels like something where if I had my hair down, which I don't today because I wanted to show you guys the blush, if I had my hair down, absolutely my hair would get stuck in the blush. But we'll kind of wait and see as we try the other shades if these dry down, and we'll see how they wear throughout the day, because supposedly they are long wearing. But as far as the shade goes and as far as the texture goes, I think this is really, really beautiful and just, gorgeous if you're looking for kind of like that dewy shine. And because these are for lips and cheeks, I also want to show you what Glassy Pomelo looks like on the lips. Keep in mind that my natural lip color is rather rosy, okay? So this is gonna be maybe a little bit too light for me. I don't like this color on the lips at all. It's giving me kind of like gross concealer lips, but I think it's just the color. We shall see. We shall see with the other shades. I think it is just the color. It's just not a color that is well suited to my lip tone, but this could work really well if your lips are, paler and more fleshy toned. It just, I don't know, it's not giving, but I will say the texture feels really, really nice. It feels like a lip oil or a lip balm, a lip serum. It feels really nice, very, very moisturizing. So comment down below, let me know what you think. I love the way that it looks on the cheeks, but the lips, not so much. I have fresh cheeks, and now we're gonna be going into Glassy Lilac. This is described as a lavender. I feel like lilac is a huge trend this spring. Take a look at that. I'm excited to try this one. A lot of lilac blushes, they kind of just end up looking pink and not really purple. So let's give this a try. Definitely more pigmented than Glassy Pomelo. And I'm not even going to attempt going in straight from the stick this time. We already tested that. Oh, wow. I can see the lilac tone. Comment down below and let me know what you think. There's kind of a little before and after of the lilac blush. Let's get some on the other side. I don't feel like I have to layer this one up as much. I definitely think if you're going for something subtle, Glassy Pomelo, just taking a look at the shades here on the site, is probably the way to go, or the mauve toned one. Wow, that's pretty pigmented. Okay, Haus Labs. Okay, I feel like I maybe put a little bit too much on now, but that's okay. The goal here is for you to see what the color can look like, and I think if you have a deeper skin tone, I think it might show up. I think it's a really nice pigmented lilac that doesn't look too purple or too pink. So I know I put a little bit too much on, but you can see the shade. I don't feel like it really removed much of my foundation. Goes on very nicely, but yeah, still feels extremely serum-y. I mean, it's greasy, okay? It's like a serum blush. That's how it feels. So there we have Glassy Lilac. Okay, now let's try Glassy Lilac on the lips. Hopefully it looks a little bit better than Glassy Pomelo, although I will say when I wiped off Glassy Pomelo, my lips are left incredibly hydrated. They feel really, really soft. Like a lot of the hydration, or the moisturizers rather, are definitely left on my lips. So I do like that about it. Let's see what this looks like. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay. I wiped a little bit off. I spread it out, and I don't think it looks bad, but once again, I just don't really like this kind of color on my lips. I would prefer something a little bit warmer or rosier. Love it on the cheeks, but on the lips, I'm like, not really my favorite, but you guys let me know what you think. I feel like for somebody that maybe has a cooler undertone, I think this would be a little bit better suited to you, but I feel like on my complexion, it's just not necessarily my favorite. But once again, I do really like the texture and how moisturizing it feels on the lips. And now for the shade that I'm the most excited about, because I love orange blush, Glassy Tangelo. I told you all when I saw that these were going to be releasing that I was interested specifically in this shade. This looks gorgeously pigmented. I am going to be careful this time around that I don't pick up too much, just knowing that, ooh, yes, we're going to have to share across the cheeks. Just knowing that the lilac one was actually quite pigmented. It's so pretty. I like this shade. You just have to be careful. I definitely recommend just putting a little bit on the back of your hand. And given that these brighter ones are so pigmented, I feel like this is like a lifetime supply of serum blush from Haus Labs. I also think if you go with one of the more pigmented ones, you know, you don't have to use as much, and for that reason, it's not going to be quite as greasy. It can just be a nice light layer. I think that that looks beautiful. All right, and here we have Glassy Tangelo. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of this shade, and let me know which one was your favorite. I can't decide. I actually really like all three. I'm gonna have to play around with them a little bit more to see which one I reach for the most. I think that the Glassy Pomelo surprised me at how beautiful and subtle it was. I know that I reach for these orangey shades, and then the lilac one's a little bit more unique, but I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below, which one you like the best. And then here's Glassy Tangelo on the lips. This is gonna be juicy and pigmented. Might have put a little bit too much. And here you have it. This is Glassy Tangelo on the lips. I love an orange lip, just like I love orange blush. I like this kind of monochromatic moment. I'm surprised at how pigmented it is. It really does show up even on my lips, which tend to be very rosy in tone. And yeah, just like I said before, it feels amazingly moisturizing. So let me know what you think of Glassy Tangelo. Now, before I share my final thoughts, I do want to do a couple of quick comparisons with some other very popular cream and liquid blushes that I already have in my collection, just so you can kind of get a feel for how these ones from Haus Labs might compare to something you already own, or maybe something you're interested in purchasing from Sephora or another retailer. And the first comparison product that I have here is the cream blush from Makeup by Mario, specifically the Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. These are a little bit dewier and glossier, so I figured it would be a decent comparison. And I compared Rose Crush from Mario up against the Glassy Pomelo from Haus Labs. I know that the color is not exact, guys, but this is more about comparing the formula as opposed to the color. And you can see that the ones from Haus Labs, they are glossier, they're more translucent, gives you more of that like glossy, glassy type of look, a little bit more of a serum-y type of look, whereas the ones from Makeup by Mario, they just generally, like, they're a little bit more pigmented. They don't set down all the way, but as you can see, it's not greasy there on my hand. They set down a lot more than the ones from Haus Labs. Honestly, I highly recommend these if you're looking for something that isn't quite so dewy, but is a really beautiful cream blush that gives kind of like a similar effect. I also have here the Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Hope. I have a little mini size of this one, and I thought it would be good to compare this also up against the Glassy Pomelo. These shades are actually quite similar, and clearly you can see that the Rare Beauty is a lot more pigmented. It still has that sheen. This is the dewy formula for Rare Beauty. They do have a matte version as well, which is going to be less shiny, but you can see it's not quite as shiny as the Haus Labs. Also, these set down a little bit more. This one I just swatched, but as I shear it out and as it kind of sets down, it's not going to be quite so dewy and so glassy. I don't feel like my hair gets caught in the Rare Beauty blushes, even the dewy ones. And it's just not going to give you as much of that like glassy, translucent, more, I don't know, no makeup type of gleam. One of the products that I thought would be the closest to these Haus Labs blushes are the NARS Afterglow liquid blushes. These are very serum-like. They're very thin and light and give you kind of like that watercolor effect to the skin. And the color that I have here is called Brazen. And then I decided to compare it up against the Glassy Tangelo. These from NARS are actually a lot less pigmented. You can see when I kind of just blend it out like this, see how it really shears out, whereas the ones from Haus Labs, like obviously if you choose one of the lighter colors, it's going to be very subtle, as you saw with the Glassy Pomelo. But Glassy Tangelo really shows how pigmented these are, and these are going to be longer lasting as well. Like I gotta be honest, I don't really reach for the ones from NARS very much because I put them on, they look pretty, and then they're gone. Like they really don't last that long, and I have to apply a lot to get them to show up. So I don't really recommend them, but if you have these, if you like these, just know the ones from Haus Labs, they're going to be a little bit more pigmented, and if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely choose the Haus Labs. I also have right here the Glossier Cloud Paint, and this is in the shade Wisp. I thought we could compare this up against the Glassy Lilac, and just like a couple of the others I've shown you, the Glossier Cloud Paints are just not as dewy. They definitely set down, They're very user-friendly. They're very good, just like standard go-to cream, or I guess liquid blush, and they are not as dewy as the Rare Beauty ones as well. You can see right here, just gives like a nice creamy look, whereas the ones from Haus Lab definitely give you that glassy shine. I feel like I get good longevity from the Glossier ones as well. We shall see if the Haus Labs ones are as long lasting, but the Haus Labs ones are definitely going to be more like that shiny, glassy type of look. And lastly, for good measure, I have one of the Patrick Ta blush duos because I know these are so popular, and this is the shade She's Blushing. I compared this up against the Glassy Pomelo. Once again, I know that the shades are not that close, but you can see that the Patrick Ta blushes, they are a lot less glassy looking. They're probably like the least dewy ones out of all the ones that I'm talking about in these comparisons today. They set down a lot more, and I guess that's just because they're being used alongside a powder product because it is a duo and you don't want to get hard pan and all that. So I think Patrick Ta did a good job not making these too dewy. They're going to be a lot more long lasting because of that. And yeah, that's my last comparison. Before we go, I want to share my final thoughts on these blush balm sticks. I definitely think there are pros and cons. At the end of the day, I think they are nice, but I do think that they are a little bit overpriced. In terms of the formula, I do think it does what it says on the tin. It is a very glassy formula. It gives you that beautiful dewy shine to the cheek. If that is something that you like, if you're someone that really likes super dewy blushes, then I do think you are going to enjoy these. I do really like the fact that they're decently pigmented, and also I do think that they are pretty long wearing compared to other glassy formulas. Are they going to be as long wearing as like a powder blush? Certainly not. Are they going to be as long wearing as maybe a creamy but not as glossy blush? Certainly not. But I do think that for the formula, it does a great job of clinging to the cheeks, and I like the pigmentation that I get. All of that being said, I kind of feel like they're jacking up the price by making this seem like skincare. I'm sure that all the ingredients are in here, okay? I'm sure that like they're good for your skin, but if you're putting this on top of, at least for me, my skincare, my sunscreen, then I usually have foundation, then I usually have bronzer, I don't really think that the fermented arnica and all those other ingredients are really doing all that much, especially since I'm just putting it on what is a rather small area of my face. I also think that the packaging, like I said in the beginning of the video, it feels very cheap for the price. I'm not super impressed by that. I think it could have been a little bit more weighty, maybe a little bit thicker. Like, listen to this. It feels chintzy. It feels like something I would get from ColourPop. I'm sorry, but it's true. The other thing that I want to mention that I didn't call out in the rest of this video, because I've been playing with these for a couple of hours now, and I've just noticed that they also stain. They stain the lips and they stain the cheeks a little bit. Not a lot, but it's staining, especially the lilac shade. You can definitely see that right here. Also here on my arm where I was swatching them. It doesn't say in the product description that these are like lip and cheek stains. And I know I have a lot of subscribers out there that do not like products that stain. And for that, it kind of like takes it another notch down. If you are still interested in these, I do urge you to take a step back and really think to yourself, are you a glassy cheek type of person? Because I know it looks really beautiful on social media. I know it looks really beautiful in the promo photos, but if you're not somebody that likes super dewy makeup, then I don't think you're going to like these. I think they look beautiful, and I actually do think that I will wear these in the spring and summer with a slick back bun, but I will not be wearing these with my hair down because I just hate the feeling when the wind blows and my hair gets stuck in my dewy cheek makeup or even my lip gloss or anything like that. I really don't like that feeling. It's all personal preference, but really be honest with yourself. You know, are you someone that's gonna reach for something super dewy? Don't just buy it because it seems like it's something new. It's not that new. It's just a dewy cheek product. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is just a slightly more affordable alternative that you can find at Sephora for these Haus Lab blushes. It's not in a stick format, but I was looking through my blush drawer trying to see if there were any more comparison products I could show you that maybe had the same glassy shine as these ones from Haus Labs. And the one that I came up with is this from Tower 28. These are the Beach Please Cream Blushes. These are really nice. These are also very glassy. This is the shade Magic Hour. which is kind of like a toasty nude. They are pretty shiny, pretty glassy, and they retail for $20. So if you're looking for a very dewy blush, here we'll compare this up against the Glassy Pomelo. If you're looking for a very dewy blush, but you want something that is just a little bit more affordable, maybe you're just getting started or you're trying to play around with more dewy makeup, I would recommend these from Tower 28. They have 9 shades and they're all really, really beautiful. So those are all my thoughts, friends, on these new blush balm sticks from Haus Labs. Not a bad formula, just in my mind, a little bit overpriced. If you want some more recommendations for beautiful cream blushes that you can find at Sephora and other retailers, definitely check out my cream blush ranking video. I think you will find that very, very helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you are interested in these. Did I convince you either way? Which shade did you like the most? I would love to hear all of your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.